Good evening and welcome to the Rose Garden in Wausau and the Wisconsin Public Radio Route 51 live broadcast debate with the 7th Congressional District candidates, incumbent Democrat Dave Obey and Republican challenger Dan Mielke. I'm Glenn Moberg of Wisconsin Public Radio. This event is also sponsored by the Wisconsin Institute for Public Policy and Service. We are broadcasting live this evening on all of our regional Wisconsin Public Radio stations, WHRM 90.9 FM Wausau, WLBL 91.9 FM Wausau, and 930 AM Auburndale Stevens Point, and WHBM 90.3 FM Park Falls. Our questions tonight from a panel of North Central Wisconsin journalists: Mark Baldwin, the executive editor of the Wausau Daily Herald; Eric Morotek, anchor of WAOW TV9; and Todd Hicks, anchor of WSAW TV7. We have a simple format tonight. Individual questions will be posed by a panelist to both candidates, with each having 90 seconds to respond. At that point, the panelist may ask a follow-up question, which will be followed by an open discussion on the topic lasting between 2 and 3 minutes. There will be no opening or closing statements. We ask that those of you in our live audience treat the proceedings and each of the candidates with the respect and dignity that they deserve. And again, turn off your cell phones if you haven't yet. Our candidates tonight: incumbent Democrat Dave Obey, who has represented the 7th Congressional District since 1969. He serves as chair of the House Appropriations Committee. And also Republican challenger Dan Mielke, a Plover area organic farmer, founder of Citizens for an Open and Honest Government, and an advocate for property rights issues. Today, with the election exactly 1 week away on November 4th, our first question is a fundamental one. Why should voters in the 7th Congressional District elect you and not your opponent? We begin with Republican Dan Mielke, who has 90 seconds to respond. Dan?
Well, I believe, number one, it would take Mr. Obey into retirement. That'd be a plus in my mind, in the sense that we have a situation where 39 years in office, I believe, is an excessively long time to be away from home and losing touch with the citizens. I believe that it's important for us to find someone to run for office that has the understanding and the passion of to represent the people here. And I believe I have that. I believe my business experience and also my political experience in dealing with a lot of the issues are important, and they will be an asset. But I think the number one asset is I have the experience of knowing what you feel and what you do in this community, because I'm one of you.
Dave Obey, you have 90 seconds.
First of all, let me thank the panel for participating, and thank Mr. Mielke for participating. And I want to express my appreciation for your rescheduling this debate. My voice isn't that much better this week than it was last week, but at least I can talk, which is more than I can say last week. I would simply say that I am asking people to vote for me for two reasons. First of all, because I think you have to ask the question, who can be the most effective person representing this district? And I think, given my position in the Congress, I think given my seniority and given my understanding of the needs of virtually every part of this district, I think your best bet is to vote for me. Secondly, I think it's a question of values. I think anybody who knows me understands that I try to put the needs of average working people first. In my view, this country has been running the last decade or more for the benefit of those who are the top dogs in this society, and I think the middle class has taken a back seat. I think that needs to change, and given what's happening in this election with Mr. Obama at the top of the ticket, I think that the best chance to do that is to elect a solid Democratic Congress and give us a new president in Washington, and I want to be part of the effort to participate in the change that I think you'll see if you have that team in Washington.
Any
I think I have a problem with the idea that 39 years in Congress gives someone an advantage. I believe it's actually a disadvantage. Rubbing shoulders with lobbyists, pork barrel spenders, and being there for 39 years, you tend to climatize yourself to Washington. And I believe that is a problem that should not be there. I don't believe experience in politics is what we need. I believe experience of the American citizens is what we need. I have a real problem with the idea of power. Power misused, it can be very dangerous. I live in the 7th District. I drive to the 7th District. I'm there campaigning. Of all the districts in the state of Wisconsin, the 7th District is in the most need for industry, for business, and for jobs. I believe 39 years, Dave Obey had enough time to try to make a difference, and I don't see a difference. I see a decline in jobs. It's one thing to say that you're for the working people and then have your businesses go overseas and you no longer have a job. Sure, you're willing to work, but where's the job? And I believe we've seen this in the northern part of the state, and we've seen it throughout. And I believe it's time for a change, similar to the bailout situation. You know, you have to look at this and say, you know, why does Congress have the lowest rating in its history? And I believe it's because they've climatized themselves to Congress and have lost touch with us. So I do not believe that Mr. Obey's 39 years in office is an asset. I believe it's a liability.
I don't think it's the question of my 39 years being an asset in Congress. I think the fact that I am in a position where I can affect the outcome of major issues is an asset to this district. All you have to do is look around this district and see the difference that we've made, whether it's expanding Central Wisconsin Airport, whether it's saving Flambeau Paper Mill with federal funding we got up there, whether it's helping workers who've been displaced in Wisconsin Rapids by companies moving out, helping them with job training, whether it's helping students in this area to get decent access to after-school centers, whether it's bringing a new nursing education program facility to the technical college. All you have to do is take a look around this community and to see the highways that have been built the last 3 years, because I've been in a position to see to it that we got a better share than we would otherwise have gotten of those funds.
But you know, Dave, the situation is you forgot about some of the other qualities that you have brought. What about voting for this bailout and spending $700 billion? What about the fact that the
stock market went up 900 points today? Do you really think that that would have happened if we had not cooperated with the president to pass that package? I didn't originate the bailout. I didn't originate the bailout. The president did.
I'm going to wrap it up here because that is the subject of the next question. So we're going to move to Mark Baldwin with the next question for our candidates. Mark?
Last month, Congress did indeed pass, and the President signed a $700-some-odd billion bailout for the financial industry, a measure for which Congressman Obey voted. Congressman, I would like you to first explain your reasoning for your vote and your thoughts about additional options for strengthening the economy. And then, Mr. Mielke, if we could hear from you your critique of the bailout and your thoughts about other options for strengthening the economy during this crisis.
When the president submitted his package to Congress, it was a 3-page document which simply said, "Make me emperor and let me do anything I want." 5 days later, we had changed that. We'd added some 99 pages of limitations on what the president could do. We added limitations to see to it that CEOs could not walk away with golden parachutes. We assured that whatever assets were in question, the taxpayer would maintain an ownership interest in them. We added provisions, including independent oversight boards. We also added funding, or added the authority for the administration to also deal directly with undercapitalization of banks and to help people with mortgages if they were having trouble meeting their mortgage payments. The fact is, we had the most serious economic crisis facing this country since the 30s. Our choice was to do something or do nothing. The president designed the basic package. I could have taken a partisan position, and a very popular position, I might add, and simply voted no. But sometimes you have to not just deal with problems you yourself have created. You also have to be statesmanlike enough to try to clean up messes that other people have created. And that was the case in this instance. This country would be in terrible shape today if that package had not passed.
Dan Mielke, you've got 90 seconds.